Hi, my name's Michelle. Today we're going to be focusing on the lower body, and all you're going to need for today's class is a chair. We're going to start by spreading our feet a little wider than hip width apart, shifting our weight back into our heels, and then shifting from side to side, keeping those legs straight. I'll take a few deep breaths here. Option to circle out those wrists. And then we're going to pause on one side. With your next deep breath, we'll move to the other side. If you're doing those wrist circles, let's switch directions. Good. Now you can continue with the side to side motion, or if you'd like to add on, we're going to do figure eights. So as if you're drawing figure eights with your hips, you can do whatever you want with your hands. It might feel good to reach them up and down if you've been sitting for a long time. And now we're going to switch directions. So we're really pressing down into those heels. One more deep breath. Good. Take a moment, shake out those legs. And then we're going to come with our feet about hip width apart. Lift our heel up. We're going to press down into that mound underneath the toes and then stretch it back. And we're going to do the same on the other foot. So you can go slow here, or once you get the hang of it, maybe you want to speed up the movement a little bit. So we're grounding down through that mound underneath the toes and then lengthening through the bottom of the foot. One more deep breath here. Good. Take a moment to shake it out. And then with our feet hip width apart, we're going to inhale, lift our toes, spread them, and then give them a good wiggle. Maybe you want to do the same with the fingers. Last deep breath here. Great. Now we're going to come into our top of the foot stretch. So if you want to use your chair to help with the balance, you can do that. Our feet will be about hip width apart. We're going to step one foot back, shift your hips back. Option to find stillness if this is a newer movement for you, or if you want to keep moving, you can start to bend into the knees. We're going to bend into those knees, though. We want to shift the hips back to protect our knees. One more deep breath. And then we're going to take that foot that's in the top of the foot stretch, and bring it forward, and then we're going to hover it there. So we're pressing down through that standing heel. We're going to inhale, reach our arms up, and then press our palms away, and we'll move from side to side. If this is feeling too much on the hands, you could also just grab the opposite wrist. One more deep breath. Good. Take a moment, shake it out. And then when you're ready, we'll switch sides. So stepping that top of the foot back. Softening in the shoulders. Option to add some movement here by bending into those knees. One more deep breath. Good. Now we'll take that foot that's in the top of the foot stretch, bring it forward, hover it. You could also bring those toes down at any time if you need to. Let's inhale, reach those arms up. Other index fingers going to interlace in front this time. And then reach those palms away. We're grounding down through that standing heel. As we move from side to side, don't worry about the balance if you lose it. One more breath here. Good. Exhale to release. Take a moment to shake out those legs again. And then we're going to do our calf elevators. Option to hold on to the chair if you want for balance. Feet are going to be about hip width apart. We're going to come up onto those mounds and then stretch the feet back. Good. Let's do one more. Maybe pausing, holding at the top. And then let's inhale, reach our arms up. Hold here, one more deep breath. And then as we exhale, we're going to let it all fall. Good. Take a moment to just relax. And then we're going to come up towards our chair or a wall and do our calf stretch. So we're just going to take our toes and step them up onto our chair. We're going to try to keep our hips shifted back, and then we're going to step our opposite foot forward. So we're reaching our hips back as far as we go. You can do that with a chair. You could also do that with the wall. Just bending into that knee, but keeping the hips back. A couple more deep breaths here, breathing into the back of the leg. Good. Take a moment, roll out that ankle. And then we'll switch sides. Option to find stillness here, or maybe you want to bend into the knee that's in the calf stretch without changing anything, so leaving the hips where they are. And one more deep breath. Good. Take a moment to roll out that ankle. We're going to take our hands to either side of the chair, come into our downward dog. So we're going to walk our feet back until they're underneath our hips. We're going to take a small step forward so we can bend into the knees and then reach our hips back further than our heels. We're going to relax the head and neck, hug the outside edges of our armpits in, lift the rib cage up. Option to find stillness here. Maybe you want to bend into the knees. I like to make this a free form movement. Whatever my body's telling me feels good. So maybe you want to wiggle your feet over to one side or the other side. Sending the breath into the back side of the body here. I'm going to stay here for 3 more deep breaths. You want to come out sooner, that's just fine. You go right ahead, listen to your body. Our last deep breath here, we're going to really bend into those knees. And then we're going to pretend like we're going to straighten them, but we're not going to let them straighten. So feel as if you're reaching the insides of your knees to the wall behind you. So really wake up the backs of the legs. One more breath. Good. And then we'll step those feet towards the chair to come out. Take a moment to roll out the shoulders. And then we're going to finish off by flipping our chair so that the chair seat is facing us. Taking our hands to the chair seat. And then we'll spread our legs a little wider than hip width apart, and then shift our hips back. We're going to bend into one knee at a time. Shifting from side to side. If you don't have a chair, you could also do this against the wall. Option to pause on one side. One more deep breath here. Good. We'll come out. And there you have it. I hope to see you in the next class. Namaste.